Indonesia, an archipelago full of life and possibilities, home to some of the most biodiverse ecosystems in the world. Such life and possibility can only flourish when nature is clean and protected. Yet today, a growing threat stands in front of us. Plastic pollution has begun to seep into Indonesia's ecosystems, affecting habitats that are vital for biodiversity. From terrestrial environments, plastic pollution travels through waterways, accumulating along coastlines, and eventually dispersing into the ocean, making plastic the most prevalent pollution in our ocean. Along this journey, its impacts are felt across ecosystems. Recent incidents once again remind us of this growing threat. In Indonesia's open waters, a ray swims alongside drifting plastic waste, a stark contrast that shows how deeply pollution has entered even our most precious habitats. But the impact is not limited to the ocean. Across marine, freshwater, and coastal ecosystems, wildlife continues to face increasing pressure from pollution and human activity. Species such as the pesut, or Mahakam Irrawaddy dolphin, a critically endangered species with an estimated population of only 60 individuals, have been found entangled in fishing nets, highlighting the risk faced across ecosystems. Not only that, this plastic pollution also affects biodiversity and ecosystem services, thereby undermining economic and societal resilience, development and opportunities, including for businesses. All of this reveals just how urgent this threat has become, a looming issue that has been holding back Indonesia's biopotential. To better understand these impacts, the National Plastic Action Partnership, or NPAP Indonesia, hosted by WRI Indonesia, is conducting a research in key biodiversity areas across the country. Supported by the Government of Canada through the Global Plastic Action Partnership, this research examines how plastic waste affects wildlife, habitats, and the communities that live closest to nature. To strengthen local evidence, site visits were conducted between 7 to 12 June 2025 in Likupang and Bunaken, North Sulawesi, and between 13 to 17 June 2025 in Raja Ampat and Sorong, West Papua. These visits included field observations, focus group discussions with local governments, and engagement with local communities. While plastic waste leakage is highest in densely populated areas such as Java, Bali, ecologically sensitive regions like Wallacea also face significant exposure. This is why the study found these areas as areas with highest plastic pollution risk.
Saat ini kami sedang berada di Raja Ampat untuk melakukan studi lapangan terkait studi kami mengenai dampak sampah plastik terhadap keanekaragaman hayati.
Yang terjadi di saat ini kita lihat bahwa khusus terkait dengan pengolahan sampah plastik itu bisa kita lihat dengan fakta di lapangan itu banyak sampah-sampah plastik, botol bekas minuman itu ada di area-area umum maupun di saluran-saluran air yang ada. Nah, di sini menjadi suatu kondisi yang sangat miris di mana kita tahu bahwa kawasan Raja Ampat ini merupakan salah satu destinasi wisata yang masuk di dalam 10 besar dari program nasional. Nah, ini juga akan mengganggu.
Early research shows that plastic pollution persists in critical habitats and if left unaddressed may cause long-term ecological impacts, including changes in species composition and ecosystem function. Our spatial assessment shows that at least 14% or nearly 500,000 hectares of Indonesia's mangrove ecosystems are significantly affected by plastic pollution. This is especially critical given that Indonesia hosts the world's largest mangrove ecosystems, which are vital for coastal protection and blue carbon storage. This issue goes beyond waste management alone. Many small islands still lack formal waste collection and processing facilities, leaving communities with few options for proper disposal. In some areas, waste is often openly dumped or burned rather than managed safely. Our assessment shows that the majority of proper waste management facilities and initiatives remain concentrated in the Java-Bali region, leaving ecologically important small islands highly exposed to plastic pollution. All of these issues point to a larger problem, the limited infrastructure and resource that leads to improper waste management, especially on small islands. But this is not an impossible task. Despite lack of waste management facilities in many small islands, Bunaken presents a unique example where waste management is relatively well managed, demonstrating that effective solutions are possible even in island contexts. The stakes are high. If left unchecked, plastic pollution is estimated to result in a 64 to 81% potential revenue loss in coastal tourism, disproportionately impacting vulnerable communities. Addressing this issue requires more than just awareness. It demands concrete action. Our research results recommend 1. Establishing standardized plastic pollution management framework to specifically address its impacts to the biodiversity. 2. Integrate plastic pollution aspects into biodiversity protection policies, including the management of protected areas and key biodiversity areas. 3. Integrate priority risk maps of plastic pollution and biodiversity as a variable in the formulation of special plans. 4. Invest in research, initiatives, and community capacity to address plastic pollution's impact on biodiversity. 5. Enhance waste management financing through mandatory spending and earmarked levies. Only by taking these steps can Indonesia restore and protect its full biodiversity potential. Indonesia's biodiversity is extraordinary, but so are the threats it is currently facing. Tackling plastic pollution is essential in protecting the beauty and future of Indonesia's biodiversity. To know more about this research, please scan the barcode displayed. Together, we can protect Indonesia's biodiversity and reach the limitless potential.